Welcome to the studio. So we're gonna wait maybe a couple minutes, let people roll in, but just want to talk about the splitter. Ugh. How we all doing? Man, the wind's been crazy out here recently. I don't know if y'all live in California, but man, it's been crazy at nighttime. But I'm gonna be pressing some shirts after the stream, but I just want to talk about this guy right here, the split. And if you're curious about anything about it, just let me know. I can show you close-ups and just tell you my honest opinion about it. But that's it right here. This is just my light. I have it here because it's on a magnet and I don't lose it this way because I can always find it on my press. It has nothing, it doesn't improve the performance. It's just literally there so I don't lose it. What's up, what's up? What's going on? So here we are. We got the press with the splitter. I'm trying to find my lint roller. There it is. Got a lot of lint on here, especially when you use like lighter garments that are fleece. I noticed that it gets stuck on the bottom platen. It's always good to have one of these guys. It's going well. I just wanted to do a quick video on the splitter because I know I just posted their reel this morning and I'm sure there are questions. And yeah, I just wanted to be a resource if you're curious about it, or if you want to buy it yourself, you know, if it's a good investment or not. I can obviously give you my honest thoughts on this guy. Yeah, that's why we're here. Hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday, right? Some days I forget like if it's the weekend or not because I work almost every single day. So it's like all the days get blurred up. So I've been thinking maybe this year I should start taking breaks on the weekends. It's just, I don't know. I get anxious because I like to work because it's like every day I work, I get a little bit closer to where I want to get to. So, you know how it goes. But I do think I need to rest a little bit more. So we'll see. But okay, so this, from what I understand, you should look at the website, but it works on all Signature series and all, what's the other one called? The Pro series, Signature Pro, and whatever the other one's called. I'm not, sorry, I'm not familiar with the exact wording, but go to the site, I have the link in my bio, it'll take you to the listing and you can check it out if you want it. I have the 16x20 Signature, so it fits on this one perfectly. It's said that it also fits on the 15x15 because all there is you got these 4 bolts on the bottom. So basically you kind of replace that little nub that you had before, and now it becomes this lifted up surface. So one of the big things I'm gonna say is if your table is high up like mine, it's gonna really make it high up. Like this thing is so high, I had to buy a little platform to stand on because I'm like 5'7", 5'8". So now I have this damn platform to stand on. I can work without it, but I just think for accuracy, I wanted to make sure that I can see it from above. So that's something to keep in mind. This thing lifts it by 4 inches. So it does lift it up quite a bit. Like it used to be right here, but now it's like up here. So that was one of the things I wanted to point out is if your table's already high up, it's gonna get really high. So just keep that in mind when you get it. But it is really dope. I can show you all real quick how it works. So let's say, for example, you know, I do a lot of front puff HTV. So if I wanted to do the front hit first, you know, just go as is, press as is. I'm not gonna do a live press because I don't have any puff with me right now. But right, so I just line it up, boom, boom, press it down, cool. But then, oh shit, I have a back hit. Before, you couldn't just flip this and do the back hit because then you're gonna smash the puff down. But now, you open the shirt up and you use this little gap and it goes all the way to the back. It's like so simple, and you would have thought they would have figured this out, but I think it's like an afterthought. And also it's nice because instead of having to buy a whole brand new piece of equipment, you can just attach this thing to the bottom. And it's $100, so you know, it's not like the cheapest thing in the world, but if you're trying to sell stuff that has back prints, like, you know, you sell 3 hoodies for, I don't know, $60, that's already $180. So it can easily pay itself off if you already have a clientele and all that. And yeah, like it's fucking dope because now, so there was a trick before that I figured out. If you have the same press, the 16x20, what I noticed was if you want to thread it, you extend this all the way back out and see how So now this thing is here, but pretend this isn't here. What I used to do was I would just bring this all the way out, and then I'll thread it as far as I possibly can, like this, and then I'll push it in. And oh, okay, you can see it now. See, it's not using the bottom. This is how I used to do it. So you actually don't really need it if you're doing t-shirts, but for hoodies, there's no workaround on this one. So you have to get the splitter if you want to do the back of a hoodie. That's up to you. Obviously it's still winter, so you know, hoodie season is strong in effect. So if you want to crank out some hoodies with back prints, you're gonna definitely need this one. Sorry, I'm trying to move my chain out of the way so it's not scratching the mic here. But you know what I mean? So this is what it looks like without the splitter in use. With the splitter, this goes in. So you actually have a little bit more flexibility with the fabric, which is nice. Because before with the medium or even a small, you have to stretch it on the platen. And screen printers do this too, but you know, I've just felt that it's a little bit easier with screen printing versus the heat press, because if your transfer paper gets stuck or something with the static, it's gonna peel the ink off before it's like fully on, and I noticed that kind of fucks it up. So this will help you from preventing that. And obviously for hoodies, it's huge, because before when I did a hoodie, I had to use this thing, this pad, and this was very annoying because my design is 13 by 14 or something like that, and this thing is like 15 by, how big is this? I'll measure it. This thing is 15 by 13.5. So I was literally using the entire thing, but I had to put this inside the hoodie and then essentially put the hoodie sideways, because I found that it was easier to center this way if I can look at it, you know, in this orientation. But basically I had to put this inside the hoodie so it goes over the pocket on the reverse, you know, on the back seam. And then I had to center it from this weird angle where, you know, I can kind of see it, but I can't really see it because this thing's blocking my view. So I had to use a tape measure to measure the left and right and the center. It's a whole ordeal, and you know, I did it this way because that was the only way I can do it accurately. And I'd rather spend, you know, 5 extra minutes pressing versus like fucking up a, you know, $30 hoodie blank. So that is how I did it. But now you don't need this anymore. This is a thing of the past. I mean, I'll still use this for other stuff, but for this purpose, you know, where's my hoodie? I'll show you guys right now the hoodie that I made. If it's still around here. All right, well, I can't find it, but essentially, here's another hoodie. But I love this hoodie. I don't know what to do with it yet, but I really like the wash on it. To see how you get the pocket seams. So typically, you press it on the back side. What's gonna happen is, you know, this is the surface. So the surface lays flat, but then you got this hoodie seam and you're gonna get an uneven press. And I've never had an issue with like things peeling off, but I know that a lot of people who press over seams, it doesn't apply the material correctly and you get issues in the future. But now, take the hoodie, let's take this guy, move this fucking light out of the way. But yeah, so you can just open it up. Then it's hoodie season, you know, it's nice. And it's also easy to center because like you don't have to stretch it or anything, so it's truly just sitting on the platen. And easy in and out, no problems at all, and you got your hoodie back print. So if you all have any questions, let me know, but I just wanted to kind of talk about, you know, the little things that I noticed with it, and also just the fact that it does what it's advertised to do, and I wouldn't be talking about it if I thought it was a, you know, some kind of bullshit item. So that's why we're here. That's why we're selling this, and I'm super stoked on it. And for the new people, just the drawbacks I was talking about is, one, it really brings up the press higher. So if your table's already high up and you're short like me, you're gonna have some problems. But I bought a little step stool, which, you know, it is what it is, but it, you know, I just want to be more accurate with how I do it, but I don't want to compromise not having this. So that's my workaround. And yeah, this is super good hoodie. It's from Made. I love this one, but it's like the limited colors, so you can't buy this off the shelf unless they release it in their small batch runs, which is kind of funny, right? Like a blank company that does the limited batches, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you guys have questions, let me know right now, because otherwise I'm gonna get to work and start pressing some shirts. I'm not planning on being on live the whole time because I get really tired talking, especially if no one's asking questions, because then I'm just like kind of rambling about random stuff, and you know, it's a lot harder that way. And speaking of rambling, I do have my YouTube coming up very, very soon. First video is done. Second video is gonna get edited soon. I have 3 more videos in the works. I just want to make sure that I have 5 or 6 in the works, because I want to keep on, you know, I want to post every week, at least once a week. And I want to make sure that there's that consistency, and there's kind of that, you know, I think when you post more consistently, you get to build that community, because that way I post it, I can talk about it, you guys can ask me questions, and it's very like live, versus if I post it and don't come back for like 3 weeks, it's like, where the fuck did this guy go, you know? So that's what I'm working on right now. How it sits on the piece close up. Yeah, how much closer would you like for me to get on here? Here, I'll just flip the camera. Maybe that will help a little bit. Let's see. Okay, is this close enough? This is the view that I used on the reel, but okay, let me just grab a random shirt real quick. So, as you can see, I got the splitter right here. And then if I have a shirt, you don't have to use it for the front. You can, if you use like a back puff, then obviously for the front, you're gonna have to split it. But for the back, just thread it through. You can even leave it like closed, which is cool, because before, I was showing you guys, but before, if I wanted to thread it, I had to extend this all the way back. And here, I'll bring this back a little bit more. But yeah, so before, you can thread it technically with the shirt, but it wasn't the best solution. But what I would do is I'll bring this all the way back, and then I'll bring this like this. Like, I'll cover as much as I can, then I'll press it in, and then, oh, it's using the thread right now. But basically, this will be stuck like here. Imagine this didn't exist. So the shirt will be like this. And it's not bad. It's not bad, because you can actually still use it as a thread, but this only works well with like larges and above. Like with mediums, it'll stretch it out. And I kind of felt that it was creating inconsistencies in my press, but it was still fine. But I don't know, I was getting a little self-conscious, like, fuck, is this messing up the garment? But in reality, even screen printers do that. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, this is how it used to be. And now it goes all the way in. So the perfect application will be if you're doing puff and regular, or if you're doing double puff on front and back, because now you can just thread it and you're chilling. Before, you had to either do the puff second, or you had to, you know, do this kind of the previous way of threading, which is this shit. And it's okay, it's not the end of the world, but I don't know, just makes life a little bit easier. And $100, I don't think it's too bad of a commitment. And it's nice because you don't have to buy a new piece of equipment. Because I think that's the biggest issue with buying stuff, is like you buy something and then the new version comes out, and then you're like, what the fuck do I do with the old one, right? Versus this one, you just gotta add this piece on the bottom, and then you're good. You're future-proofed until the next upgrade, basically. So hopefully that answers your question. What's the product name? It's called the Heat Press Nation Splitter, I believe. It's $100, weighs about 25 pounds, and you just literally screw it onto the bottom of your press. When I got it in the shipment, I thought I had to like disassemble stuff, and I got a little bit confused, but you straight up just screw it on using a hex bolt that they give you, one of these Johns, like the ones that you get from IKEA. Just put that on, and that's it. It took me like 10 minutes once I realized how easy it was. But yeah, it is a little bit hard to put on. You're gonna need a buddy to help you out, especially with the 16x20, because as y'all know, this thing is very heavy, and I had to take this off the platform, put it back on the platform, and I used to be able to do it before this platform, but now I have to lift it off an extra 4 inches, and I can't reach that. So, or I can, but I have to like raise it like this, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to stretch anything and be in pain. So we don't take risks that we don't have to take. But yeah, that is in general the overview of this press add-on. I think it's a cool piece of equipment. You don't need it, but it's gonna make your life a lot easier if you have it. And also, you can finally do hoodies. If you've been dreaming of pressing on the back of your hoodies, now you have it. Before, you could not. or you can, but you're kind of limited. You can only do it before the pocket hits the rest of the garment, or you have to use the heat pad thing that I had to use, which took too long to put on anything on the back. This thing, and these work fine, you know, they're great. But the issue is if you're trying to do a lot of hoodies in, you know, succession, you have to basically, you have to adjust this, press. If you do the front, you have to adjust it again because the thickness is slightly different. So there's a lot of little things that I had to do to compensate for it. But now you just thread it and it's over. It's over. That's how you do it. We save time for $100, so we chillin'. And yeah, Sean, it is a perfect one that you can add onto your 16x20 because this is the 16x20 with the shirt pressure that I ripped off because I thought it was messing up my press. It turns out that the bolt that was on it was just a little bit too tight. Like this thing on the top, I disassembled this and realized how deep it was actually on it. And in hindsight, I could have just loosened this a little bit, brought it back up, and it would have solved my problem. But I didn't realize it until I like disassembled this thing, and I was like, I don't want to go back and put it back on. So that's what happened. The shirt pressure is fine. I ripped it off. Yeah, that's my L, but that's how life goes sometimes. Screen print or DTF? Screen print. I don't like DTF personally. I just think there's a time and place for it. If someone that has a DTG and they understand how to use it, has like the transfer powder, the sheets, and they do it themselves, it comes out really good. But when you buy a sheet from somewhere, I just personally don't like it. I think it looks too much like a sticker, and there are ways to make your artwork kind of blend better with your graphics and the shirt, but at the end of the day, I think print is always going to be better than transfers. But that doesn't mean that I don't like transfers, because I obviously use transfers, especially the 3M, brick, puff, and these are the three that I always talk about because that's what separates you from like a standard print, you know, because if you want to do puff, you got to pay like an extra $1 per unit through a screen printer. If you want to do 3M, like they're gonna just do the same thing that you would do at home because they have to buy transfers unless they use reflective ink. But I still think 3M, especially on outerwear and jackets, is the best look because you just don't get that same reflective like shine off of plastisol, I don't think. And then also the brick, like you can do high density with screen print, but also again, it's expensive. Screen printers don't like doing it because it's a mess to clean, and that's just speaking from what I understand of it. I've never done it myself, but I've seen a press being set up, and I can kind of see why people don't want to mess with it. But that's why I use those three, because they are an easy alternative to getting these cool effects without paying a premium. And also you can just make one at home. And that's like the biggest thing about the press, is you can just make one. And that's like, I don't know, I think that's an underrated like value of having the press, is like making one to just see what happens is like the risk is essentially zero, right? Versus ordering 100 shirts and having it somewhere in your apartment. It fucking sucks. Like it's the worst feeling when you have so much garments that's not selling and you're like, what the hell do they do with this? You know, put it on sale and then slowly see it sell and then, you know, make $0 off of them. But I don't know. But yeah, that's why DTF, I think it's fine. I think it's just a fad right now. People are pumping it out because everyone's searching for it. You can do full color easily. But at the end of the day, I think the best prints are gonna be always printed. So I'll pick DTG over DTF any day. What's your take on Supercolor? Supercolor, I like how fast they ship. I like how consistent they are. I like that they usually never give me any problems versus like TKO. I go a lot of back and forth with them sometimes. And I'm just like, you guys have made this for me before. Like, it shouldn't be different every single time, you know? So it's kind of strange. I don't know why there's that like weird pushback. But when TKO does it right, like, there's no better plastisol transfer than TKO. I actually have some right here. But this is the Premium Plus. You get it on that clear sheet, which is so good because you can see where you're pressing it. And then this one is the Sports Plus. The reason why I got this in the Sports Plus is because you can go another inch wide on the width, and then this one you're capped at 12. So I want to go 12.5, and that's why I did it on this. But they don't allow you to do 2 hits of white on the Sports Plus. I don't know. Like I don't know what these rules are. I always message him and ask him like, can you just make an exception or whatever? But I don't know, we'll see. I'll see them at Impressions and I'm gonna ask these questions because like there's so many little things that I feel like is gonna bring their business up for people like me, like people who wanna do streetwear stuff, not just like crafters at home, you know? So anyway, this is the Premium Plus 2 hits of white. The 2 hits of white is really important because then you mitigate any dye migration, meaning that the print is gonna stay nice and bright and white on your garments, versus if you do a thin plastisol ink on something that's like a tie-dye, there's a chance of the ink from the fabric seeping through. So it's just kind of like a safeguard, and it also feels really nice because you get like that extra layer of ink, and I don't know, it's hard to explain it without feeling it, but it is good. It is some good stuff. And Supercolor, they are consistent, they're very fast at shipping. Like I get it in like a day or two. But the one thing I don't like is that there's that ghosting around the one color hits. Like I don't know why they have that. If someone from Supercolor is in here, please tell me why. Because if you guys didn't have that like transparent outline, I would use Supercolor way more often. So yeah, that is my take on Supercolor. They are good, they're fast. I've never had problems with it like peeling off. I did it for a client that wanted those pickleball jersey things, and I got like a polyester shirt. I did the full color screen print, like water-based mixture ink thingy. They don't call it DTF, so it's not DTF. Looks like DTF, but I think it might be like a screen print underbase, and then they put the DTF over it, something like that. I'm not 100% sure because they don't show it, but yeah. I mean, can you get Supercolor where you are? Like, do they ship internationally? Because I feel like when you're not in the US, like there has to be other options out there that are hopefully better, hopefully cost effective, and hopefully like, I don't know, solves a different solution. Because I know there's a lot of content on US based stuff, but, oh, you guys don't have it, okay. All right, well, sorry to hear that, but I don't know. Hopefully you'll have a different alternative. But then again, like, you know, most of my stuff is like the Puff, 3M, Brick. You already know. I feel like I'm always just being a dead horse when I say that, because those, like, literally that's all I talk about is like those three. But that is why the press, to me, is really good investment, because you get to make these cool things without having to pay an arm and a leg. So yeah, that's what it is. And for all the new people coming in, the YouTube is coming really soon. I think in 2 weeks, I'm gonna post my first video. It's gonna be a relatively similar video to the Heat Press Nation one, except now I'm the main character, no more Jared. So it's a little bit harder because Jared's a really good host. Like, you know, like a podcast or any kind of video where you have a guest, like it really, half of the effort comes from the host being a good host, like making you feel comfortable, asking you the right questions, because that way like you can open up and just speak without thinking. And I think Jared, obviously if you guys follow Heat Press Nation, like he does a really good job. And I had to do that presentation solo because we had lunch, and then he's like, I'm not gonna do it with you. And I was like, oh, that's not good, because I thought you were gonna be standing there with me. So yeah, it was a little bit hard for me, but you know, we're getting better at it. Like speaking and just talking about concepts is very different from just like having a one-on-one conversation. But I do think with more practice, it's gonna be more natural for me, and you know, hopefully I'll get better and you guys won't be like cringing whenever I speak and I fuck up. So yeah, stuff that I'm working on for this year. First he said New Zealand, okay. It's interesting that they picked New Zealand, because that just seems super random, but I guess I forget that New Zealand and Australia is like pretty close to Asia. So maybe that's their plan, is if they're in New Zealand, they can distribute to Asia a little bit faster. So, and they also have AS Color over there. So maybe that's the secret collab that they don't want to tell you, you know? But anyway, if there's no more questions, I'm gonna be signing off because I need to press. This thing is hot behind me, but it's actually really cold today, so it's helping me out. But yeah, this is the thing I wanted to talk about today. Got the splitter, 16 by 20. You can also put it on your 15 by 15. So life is good. Get the splitter if you want, link in bio. I get a little kickback, and you get to finally press on hoodies. So win-win for everybody, and I hope you all keep on creating some good stuff. If you ever make stuff, tag me and I'd like to check it out. Don't DM me stuff, because I don't like people DMing me photos. Like, I'd rather you just tag and I'll check it out. So if there's anything you want me to show me, just tag me and I'll take a look at it. So thank you all for coming through, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.